Trump's chain will be jerked if he tries to stop the takedown of war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu. Posted on benjaminfulford.net. By Benjamin Fulford. Donald Trump, president-elect of the shallow U.S. state, will have his chain jerked by the deep state if he tries to prevent the final takedown of the Hazarian mafia, including war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, Pentagon and agency sources say. The takedown is now entering a mop-up phase, Pentagon sources say. The cabal's last stronghold, the vast underground base at Denver Airport, was routed by a contingent of U.S., Russian and other troops. Mopping up is in progress with more raids, the sources say. In another operation 100,000 children and sex slaves were liberated from the underground bases of the Getty Center in they add. The south of Chile was hit by an earthquake weapon last week in order to shake up the Nazi enclave in Bariloche and Patagonia in general, they say. The Hazarian stronghold of Israel is now also under unprecedented attack, as can be seen by the passing of a UN resolution condemning their illegal settlement building in the West Bank. The 14-0 UN vote, with the US abstaining, will lead to more UN resolutions aimed at forcing that rogue nation to agree to a two-state solution to the Palestinian issue, many sources agree. The murder of the Russian ambassador to Turkey and the downing of a Russian aircraft over the Black Sea by the Israelis has given Russia both moral authority and legal grounds to pursue UN sanctions against Israel and to mount a real global war on terror by going after ISIS/Mossad assets worldwide, the PEON sources say. In an attempted countermove, war criminal Netanyahu sent the head of Mossad to visit Donald Trump and got him to issue a statement saying he would have vetoed the anti-Israel resolution. However, with the Hazarian base in Denver being wiped out, the Hazarians no longer have the military ability to impose their will on the U.S. government, the Pentagon sources note. The remaining Hazarian agents in the CIA are bracing for massive purge by Trump of the Bush faction, CIA sources say. The reformed CIA will end all drone attacks and drug flights, and will focus on human intelligence, HUMINT, as well as open-source intelligence, OSINT, the sources say. Friendless Israel is now expected to face an air/land/sea blockade and other actions to force that state to conform to international Pentagon and agency sources agree. The Hazarian regime in Saudi Arabia will also be forced to end its various barbaric practices, they say. Extra security measures have been taken for Donald Trump with Russian mercenaries and special forces sent to disarm nuclear weapons in New York and near the White House, the Pentagon sources say. One nuclear weapon under Washington has already been dismantled, they add. The Hazarians are also planning to counterattack by creating a major financial crisis, multiple sources, including from the Rothschild family, agree. Here is what a Twitter account claiming to emanate from Baroness Hannah de Rothschild, the daughter of Baron Jacob de Rothschild, had to say about the upcoming attack. BSS de Rothschild at BSS de Rothschild. It's going to be a frightfully dismal year for US in 2017. No jobs, hyperinflation, more debt and impeachment. Merry Christmas, you fools. She is also making multiple death threats against Trump and needs to be taken down, CIA sources say. The financial attack, which will accelerate rapidly in the new year, has already begun with a major push to cause interest rates worldwide to rise to crippling levels. This is being done by means of a huge sell-off in the bond market by the Hazarian mob families. The planned result will be to cripple indebted emerging nations' economies and punish debt slaves in countries like the United States by forcing them to pay more for their car, house, and other loans. The plan is to blame the engineered economic hardship on Trump, Rothschild family sources. Trump, Rothschild family sources say. However, there is a huge split within that family that will make this planned economic attack impossible to carry out. On that front, we got word from Nathaniel Rothschild, who says he has not been killed, as claimed by Pentagon sources, but has merely gone into hiding. Here is what a source with access to Nathaniel had to say: his family members are out to take away his position as the next head of the clan. They are not out to eliminate him, but need his signature on a specially prepared document only used by the family that will annul his upcoming leadership ascension. The source also said the battle continues within the family. They are losing control of the world's financial system but will still remain in the club with China at the helm, via the Shanghai Gold Exchange, of which they are a main player. Financial war was concerned. This is what the source, who is of Asian royal blood, had to say. It seems that those with a lot of greenbacks, USD, want to get rid of it and trade it for O. This is happening all over the world. The problem is that only a handful of people can actually move it around. Unless you are talking about black O, of which there are hundreds of thousands of tons of it, but only the 10 authorized dealers will touch it because it is not hallmarked. Hallmarked O is not just a mark for selling, and keeping track of its movement. All hallmarks also contain a radioactive marker so it can be tracked during shipment. Remember that the boys also did this to the Shah of Iran's gold stored in Thailand. Many people want the real thing now, not the paper that says you own it, as you and I have seen so much of that fake paper going around. That is why the next month is going to be very interesting. There is a scramble for physical gold now. The off-ledger O will be slowly moved back into the official market and must be hallmarked. We anticipate that China, Russia, and Thailand will be the main players involved in this transfer as they prepare for the new gold-backed currency. Remember that China slipped the news out in their big billboard near the Bangkok airport a few years ago. The truth was put there in plain sight. Do you wonder why there is no mention of BRICS lately? It because there is internal juggling taking place. They are repositioning their strategy now. They will need the physical O to back their currency. Here is a picture of the billboard mentioned. The same source said that the intel regarding David Rockefeller being dead is correct. He is in stasis now at the base. He will not be heard of or seen again, unless they hologram him. There are others in the elite club who are also there now. I am obtaining a list from our man on site and will pass it on to you once I have it. I was informed a few days ago that W.J. Clinton has been denied access to the base. Henry Kissinger has a pod reserved. He will most likely go off radar very soon. Queen Elizabeth II, head of the Committee of 300, has also been put under house arrest, Pentagon sources say. This can be partially confirmed by the Queen's cancellation of her scheduled public appearances in recent days. However, sources close to the royal family say the Queen is simply avoiding public appearances as a security precaution because they have received. The other visible bloodline public figure being targeted by the Gnostic Illuminati is Adolf Hitler's daughter and Rothschild family member Chancellor Angela Merkel of Germany. The Illuminati say members of the German army and intelligence services are determined to remove her from power during the coming year. The recent fake German truck terrorist attack, and subsequent media campaign pinning the blame for that on Merkel, was just the first round of that campaign, they say. The year 2017 may also be time when the secret space program and ET folk get their long-awaited disclosure. The following quote, from a source in the Antarctic base, requires more proof before I will believe it, but, nonetheless, here it is. The cabal are all freaked out by what they found in Antarctica. It gave Buzz a heart attack. Very large pods with being Buzz a heart attack. Very large pods with beings inside. That is why John Kerry was there election day. Animals and people frozen in time. 12–14 foot humans in the pods who were in stasis, are now awakening. One thing we can confirm about Antarctica is that while the North Pole appears as part of a regular map on Google Earth, the South Pole cannot be found there. Instead, the map just vanishes into a point where